All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a whole new way to think about wealth, and this is all based on the work of James Johnny. Seriously, this perspective, it might just flip the script on the equation you've been living by. Okay, let's start with a number we all know, right? $1 million. For so many of us, this is the classic benchmark for being rich. Now, let's really scale that up. This is $100 million. All of a sudden, that first million starts to look kind of small, doesn't it? And then there's this, $1 billion, 1,000 million. I mean, it's an amount of wealth that's so vast, our brains can barely even comprehend it. So for most of us, right, these numbers feel like they're from another planet. And that huge gap, it creates this feeling deep down that the whole game is just rigged against us from the very beginning. Think about it. You're probably working a job, maybe you've got some debt, you feel like you're not getting paid what you're worth. And the idea of real wealth, it feels like some far-off dream. But what if that feeling, that sense that the game is rigged, what if it's all based on a totally flawed way of looking at money? So let's dig into that. Could there be a hidden science to getting rich? A formula that society, our schools, they just never taught us? The one that actually leads to real financial freedom? Okay, so the first step, and this is crucial, is to really understand the money equation most of us live by. And we need to see exactly why it's pretty much guaranteed to never lead to any kind of significant wealth. And here it is, the basic trade-off most of us make every single day. We trade our most valuable, totally non-renewable resource, our time, for a set amount of money, our salary. And this right here just perfectly illustrates the trap. I mean, even if you're making a decent $20 an hour, working full-time, it would still take you almost 24 years just to gross $1 million. And get this, that's before taxes, before paying for, life, and before inflation eats away at it. You can literally watch your time just vanish. So because of this broken equation, we start to believe that huge fortunes can only come from two things: pure luck or being born with a silver spoon. But when you actually look at the real data, it tells a completely different story. Check this out. A report from WealthX looked at the world's ultra-wealthy. We're talking people with $30 million or more, and they found that a whopping 68% are completely self-made. Only a tiny 12% got there just from inheritance. That's pretty wild, right? And we see this everywhere, right? These self-made success stories pop up in all kinds of industries: tech, media, retail, you name it. So the most important thing to realize here is they are absolutely not playing by the same time for money rules as the rest of us. So if they're not just trading their time for money, then what in the world are they doing? Well, it's time to pull back the curtain on the new formula. And this one, it shifts the focus entirely away from just earning a salary. And here's the absolute core of it all. The market doesn't care about your time. It doesn't even care how hard you work. It only rewards one thing: the value you create. Think about it. A cleaner might work their tail off, but an accountant who saves a company a ton of money has a much higher perceived value, and that's what they get paid for. So this is the new equation, and it's a total mindset shift. Ready? Stop chasing the money. Instead, start chasing problems. Look for the little inconveniences, the big frustrations, the things people are always complaining about. That's where you start. And then you build the solution. But, just having a great solution, that's only half the battle. The final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle is making sure that solution can scale. Just look at the difference here. On one hand, you have a business that's tied to your time, like being a yoga teacher. It's really just another job, and there's a hard limit on how much you can earn. But on the other hand, a scalable business, like an online yoga course, that can reach millions of people all at once. It makes money for you 24/7, even while you sleep, without you having to put in any extra hours. So, after you've done all this, you've found a problem, you've built a scalable solution, you've created a whole business around it, what was the point of it all? What was the real prize? I'll tell you what it wasn't. It was never about the money itself. I mean, think about it. The money's just paper. It's just numbers on a screen. The only value it has is what we all agree it has. What you were really chasing from the very start was the feeling that money gives you. We're talking about freedom, the freedom to pay off your family's mortgage, to travel the world and not stress about it. to chase your dreams without making a huge financial sacrifice, the freedom to never have to ask, can I afford this? It's about owning your own time. That's the real goal here, getting back that one thing you can never, ever make more of, your time. So, if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Stop chasing the money, start chasing solutions to problems. Don't chase the reward, chase the reason for the reward. That is the equation. That's how all real, significant wealth is actually built. So, if you want that freedom, that real, true freedom, then the path forward is to find a problem that you care about solving for other people and make that your meaningful struggle. The only question left for you is, which one are you going to choose?